Ajahn Sujin, you mentioned darkness from time to time, and that if there is an object that arises other than seeing, could you say a little bit about...
I think that the world we live with ignorance is quite different from when Panya penetrates the true nature of reality. For example, right now it seems the world of sight and things in and around oneself, trees and color. But actually, one moment of experiencing an object, and who experiences it? The citta, which is the faculty of experiencing an object, is now experiencing it. But we do not have the right understanding of citta itself as it is when there is no awareness. For example, light now is the object of what? Of seeing itself, of the element which can experience it. And that element is not rupa at all. It brings us to beginning to understand what that reality is. No shape, no form, no light, so it's so dark. So in reality, when Panya is fully developed, the world is opposite of the world when no Panya arising and experiencing it. There must be a moment of darkness, because you see that Pavanka is dark, Manodavara is dark, and the moment of experiencing an object through other doorway besides the eye base must be dark. So at that moment, no self, no one at all, only darkness with the quality of its experiencing an object right then. Depending on whatever it is, it can be feeling, it can be hardness, it can be thinking, it can be anything in darkness, see. So it's not like this world. It's different world with one object at a time as different elements. So it's so natural, the citta is dark. No matter whenever it arises, no shape, no form, but the faculty of experiencing is there. So that object appears to that citta which experiences it.
So if there's only light when there's moment of seeing, and if there's only one moment of consciousness at any given time, then it means that because the seeing moments must be just a small proportion of our that there's more darkness than light.
Yeah, I think that we cannot imagine anything when it does not happen yet. So while we are talking now, we shouldn't think about how many millions moments of seeing so that it continue as non-stop seeing at all. That is only thinking.
Yeah.
But the right understanding is seeing the distinction between that which experiences it and the object which one used to take something out of it as my friend, my home, my things. Actually, it's only a moment of appearing as visible object. Whenever citta sees, it sees only that, and then thinking follows. And that's why it comes the word rupa nimitta, because only one kalapa or many kalapa is not enough to condition the memory of eyes, ears, or people and things. So we live in the world of ignorance. How much one knows, how much right understanding is there. To say that by getting understanding little by little, it can eliminate the idea of thing or something or I from reality. That is the only way.
And what we take out of visible object is such a huge
Thinking.
part of what
Right.
our life and the world
Right,
is.
right. So thinking about reality which is so dark before experience any object at all, like Pavanka, no object appear, so no one can experience how dark it is. But when there is a moment of experience an object, it's time to really understand that the object appears because of the citta.
And also because of the sense base the eye base.
No thinking at all.
No thinking.
No thinking.
Yeah, 'cause that's
The
not
way
the
to understand reality is a moment of experiencing with understanding about reality which one has learnt before, about visible object, about seeing.
So this present moment of experiencing the world through the eye door is just one moment of seeing consciousness.
We don't have to tell or say one moment, but learn to understand that what we take for people and things in reality is only the reality which can get in touch or contact the eye base and appear. If there is no eye base, the reality right now cannot appear at all. Just that, only that. But ignorance does not understand that at all. And it takes time to really understand visible object as just a reality.
Just to get a glimmer of that at an intellectual level, it gives us a completely different perspective on things, but that glimmer is here for a moment and then gone.
That's why we can understand the important part of sanya. See, sanya keeps on coming with thinking and everything except the sanya of Dhamma right now. That's why we are now developing sanya of Dhamma. And the proof is that whether there are conditions for awareness to be aware right now. And then it proves that the sanya is firm enough to condition moment of awareness.
Sometimes it seems as if the habit of controlling enters upon the field of intellectual understanding too.
That is the habits.
That's the habit.
We use the habits because it's habits, yeah.
But I'm still a bit puzzled about sanya, and you said a minute ago sanya conditioning moment.
For example, one has heard about visible object many times. So it depends on sanya, whether it conditions awareness right now, beginning to understand visible object as just visible object. We live with visible object, but we think of many things. So in reality, when we think of moment when there is no object appearing yet, very dark, and then just a flash, very quick appearing of an object through one doorway at a time. No mixture, not together. So one can see that one lives in darkness with thinking, only thinking, because there can be thinking even there is no seeing, no hearing at all. Seeing moment is just like a flash, and hearing sound is like a flash. All sense doorways are like flashes, but thinking keeps everything that it has experienced as something permanent all the time, until Panya discerns the true nature. And one can see that it's not very horrible when everything is gone completely. What is left is darkness. But Panya is there, see. Otherwise, it's I who is so very frightened because of such happening. But when it's Panya, it is understanding of the experiencing itself, which is dark. It has to be there. So one becomes used to understand the characteristic of Citta and Nama better. But this has to be applied on and on and on and on and on until the idea of self is completely eradicated. And one realizes that it's impossible without the higher Panya or the higher Vipassana Jnana, which is clearer and it can penetrate better and better. Because the idea of self is so very deep-rooted. Even there is nothing, only a reality. It's me, it's I, it belongs to me because it's there, nothing else, see. Then by the time we understand the Micchātiṭṭhi, the clinging as self, even it's just a reality, no matter its hardness or heat or cold, it's still me or my body, part of my body. It's like now we think that we have teeth only in memory. It does not appear, and in reality all conditioned realities or rupa arise and fall away so fast. So no teeth, when there's no moment of experiencing hardness and take it for something. But actually it's just moment of experiencing an object and then gone. Completely never come back. See? So what do we have in life? Nothing. Just a moment of experiencing and then go away all the time.
Ajahn Sujin, can Sanya remember the direct experience of a reality as that?
Why not?
And then think about
Sanya arises with
Okay.
each citta. Yeah. And that's why we will hear more about anatta sanya and anicca sanya. See? Otherwise now it's only nitya sanya and atta sanya. So sanya is different when it accompanies the degrees of panya too.
So just following on from Maeve's question, sorry to interrupt, but that means that all the moments of experiencing with understanding, plus all the moments of experiencing with wrong view, are somehow accumulated in the sanya.
Sanya arises and falls away like other realities, but the complexity from moment eons ago up till now, we cannot know what's in there in each moment of citta until there are conditions for its arising. So we can see how much we have accumulated, kusala or akusala.
What someone might hear may have not had anything to do with Abhidharma, and then hears what you are saying, and the memory, that can be a condition for the memory of those past experiences, those past direct experiences.
It's just the matter of understanding
Yes.
what one heard. Develops on and on, understanding better and better. So panya is the understanding reality as it is perfectly. When it's lokuttara, it is also understanding the nature of nibbana. See, it's not that there is something that I experience and I don't know what it is. It's not like that at all. Panya grows and become more detached to different objects. That is the function of panya, opposite of lopa. That's why one can be one's own refuge by one's own understanding. When there is attachment, panya knows that it's wrong, not that. Okay. And yes,
Now, at the moment of Lokuttara, the experience of Nibbana is knowing what it is, right? Isn't
right
it?
now, because it must be panya, lokuttara
Because the
panya.
Panya has been developed.
And that moment is called lokuttara jhana too, different from the ordinary jhana or the aramanu panicchana. This is lakkanu panicchana because the lakkana of nibbana appear